GCSE and A-level exams are coming up fast, so I want to make this short, punctual video on my best exam advice for maths, okay? So first of all is past papers. Maths is my favourite subject to revise for, not only because it's my only subject to revise for now, but because you revise it by doing it. So many other subjects you have to make notes on, mind maps, etc. With maths, you just got to do questions, past papers. Honestly, the more questions you do, the more you'll understand the maths and the more you'll learn about how they examine you. These papers are very similar. Paper 1 from 2017 will be similar to paper 1 from 2018. They have some questions that are very formulaic, they're methodical, you can do the same thing each time, okay? However, down here I've written understand, and the reason for that is because just because you can do it over and over and you follow this set method, okay, that's great, but what if they give you another part of, say, a question, like they give you a different variable and ask you to work something else out? You need to understand what you're doing so that you can enter at another point and do things in different ways to get a different outcome. You need to be able to be flexible in the questions. Again, the best way to do this is by doing questions. There are only so many different ways you can do these sort of similar questions, and so when you've done enough of them, you won't struggle with them. I can guarantee you will struggle less with the questions you do more of. I mean, that is pretty much common sense there. However, a lot of people don't know where to start with past papers. My best advice here is to search physics and maths tutor on the internet. This website is free to use, it's great, and I will show you exactly what I mean. So here I've got it open in my browser. It's this one here with this little symbol, it's the book with glasses. Okay, so on here you hover over GCSE or A level, then you go, so let's say we want a maths past paper, we click on maths papers. Let's say I'm with AQA and I want to do a paper 3. I click on this and then I have foundation and higher. Let's say I want to have a look at a question paper from 2017. Let's have a look at this. Be a bit awkward now if it doesn't load. Here we go. So as you can see here, this is just the standard paper, okay? And honestly, at the beginning, try and do papers with unlimited time. If you can do the questions in the end and you understand them, that is the best thing. Over time, you need to be adding those time restrictions to yourself, getting closer and closer to exam conditions until you can do a paper in the allocated 90 minutes or whatever it is for your exam board. If you can do a paper in less than that, that gives you more time at the end for checking, and that is great. The more you do, the faster you'll get. So once you've looked at the question paper and you've completed it fully, then have a look at the mark scheme. Now, mark schemes look really confusing, but pretty much if you see, I don't know, let's have a look for a longer question. Whether there's like a B1, count that as a mark. You're just looking. These are like check boxes that you are checking off. These are marks that you could have got. And if that's still too confusing for you, which is completely fine, that it is meant to be read by trained examiners, click on the model answers. These are answers written by people who've sat the paper, and these are all correct answers and show the working out, okay? These things are great. This is what I used for my A-level maths and further maths. This website is amazing. Okay, so my next thing is to highlight, okay? And by highlight, I mean highlight keywords. So we've covered past papers. I've covered why you need to understand questions so you can do them in different ways if you need to, and timing and checking at the end. Now the last thing is highlighting keywords, okay? And the best way I can show you is by giving you some example questions that I'd made the other day, okay? So this is reverse percentage change. This is saying a TV increases in value by 10% and is now £330. What was the original price, okay? So imagine I was highlighting here. This is what I would do. Well, first of all, we're dealing with an increase. And what did it increase by? 10%. And what is it now? It's 330. And what's the aim of the question? To find the price before the change, okay? So I've just translated this sentence in English to maths. This is an increase of 10% to some price of a TV, which I could call T, and that becomes 330. Now, I will make a video on how to do these type of questions, but for now, I'm just showing you how you can extract crucial information from a question. Secondly, we have another one. It's an increase again by 43%. It's now £43. What was the price before the change? Okay, so you can translate these wordy questions into math questions. Again, I feel like I'm going to come across as very repetitive, but the only way you can get good at this is by doing it. It sounds very stupid, but you will realise it makes maths one of the best subjects to revise for, because you revise it by doing it. All the others, you've got to think about, how can I plan my revision out, how can I make these posters, stick them up on my wall, whereas this is just, you do the questions, you'll get better at them. If you don't understand anything, or any questions in particular, drop them down in my comments and I might be able to help you out. If there's any topic that you really can't get your head around, either make a comment again, or I think my email you can access from the About page. Just send me a message somehow and I'll do the best I can to provide a video for you. Good luck with your exams and have a great week.